dignitaries, chief guest, Riddhi Madam, all the Central Council member, Regional Council member to join for the lighting of lamp. Requesting our young and dynamic chairman, C.S. Saurabh Ajmera, to escort all the dignitaries on the dais, along with the treasurer WIRC, C.A. Rakesh Shah. Income Tax Act 2025 versus Income Tax Act 1961. Though the return filing for the year March 26 will be based on the Income Tax Act 1961, a lot of other compliances, including TDS, have started from 1st April 2026, and accordingly, we will have to have understanding, the knowledge and the implementation of both the Act in this unique year, that is 26-27, where we will be also looking at the provision of Income Tax Act 1961 as well as Income Tax Act 2025. As ICAI Direct Tax Committee, the various suggestions were given when this entire act was being shaped up, and I'm very happy to say that over 100 suggestions were accepted by the CBDT and FinMin, and very glad to say that time and again department and ICI has worked hand in hand for various activities relating to the promotion of the income tax implementation. Before I invite the Chairman WIRC, may I request all of you to rise for ICI motto.
य सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामुषो पुरुषो निर्मिमाणः निर्मिमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यति कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
With this, may I request the dynamic and young chairman C.S. Saurabh Ajmera to address all of us.
Good morning, one and all. I believe we are in the very important program, so looking forward to have more energy. Good morning. Dignitaries on the dais, respected chief guest of this wonderful program, Shri Anurag Prasad sir, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax 1 Mumbai. Let's welcome with a big round of applause to Anurag sir. We have presence of our own Central Council member, C.A. Durgesh Kabra sir, C.A. Rakesh, Pankaj Shah sir. C.A. Pankaj Shah sir is from Indore and he is also Central Council member. Let's welcome with a big round of applause. We do have presence of Ms. Riddhi Mishra madam, Commissioner of Income Tax, TDS 1. Let's welcome with a big round of applause. Mr. Amit Kumar sir, CCIT TDS. Let's welcome with a big round of applause. And man behind this wonderful program where we are going to discuss about the transition from Income Tax Act 1961 to 2025, C.A. Ketan Sayya and Sanjay Nikam. Again, C.A. Ketan Sayya sir is the immediate past chairman who is taking this committee as a chairman for this year and taking lead for the knowledge sharing on such a wonderful topic. Let's have a big round of applause for him. We do have Senior Regional Council member who is taking responsibility as a vice chair of this wonderful committee, C.A. Sanjay Nikamji with us. And off the dais, we have C.A. Rakesha, who is the treasurer, and again a learned personality who is helping a lot to WRC in so many ways. So friends, on this Friday, we all are here to discuss about a very important topic, which is need of the hour, I can say. That is the transition from Income Tax Act 1961 to Income Tax Act 2025. And I must appreciate the efforts of department also. They are reaching out to all of us through these so many outreach programs. They are guiding us that how we can have more and more efficient way of transmission from the 1961 to 2025. And I believe that we being the principal stakeholder of this ecosystem, we are all are ready and we want to take this transition as an opportunity for our professional career. And in this series, WRC is organizing so many programs and lectures on the Income Tax Act 2025. Through this, we want to empower all our members. We want to accelerate our profession for this wonderful topic and where we can have a great opportunity in terms of professional career. Yesterday only we have come out a very signature program of WRC, I can say, DTRC. We have already announced we are hosting again at the Dadar Yogi Sabhagೃಹ in the month of June, in which we are keeping 4 days, 3-hour each day learning in DTRC for the Income Tax Act 2025. So my request would be to each and every members, please do participate in a wonderful signature program of WRC, that is DTRC 2026, in which we are expecting more than 1,000 members this time, as we are beginning with the Income Tax Act 2025. And believe me friends, this is not only the transition, this is the required thing from last 6 decades, as we were using Income Tax Act 1961. Now, in the demand of economy, where we are heading towards the digitalization, size of economy is also growing very fast. Size of each and every sector is growing very fast, be it capital market and financial market, or any other sector which we can see. The kind of quantum we all can see, we all can understand the requirement of Income Tax Act 2025 accordingly. And that is why we have come out this time the structure of DTRC according to that only. Friends, apart from that, WRC this year we are targeting to have some major initiative, and in this series we are hosting our one of the biggest program on Global Capability Center at Geo Convention Center at a larger landscape, where we are expecting more than 400 members and approximately 100 GCCs from this ecosystem, where we can understand now that how we can have more opportunity in an ecosystem where our country is heading as a global leader in terms of GCC setup. And that is why on 16th May, we are organizing this program in a different way, where we are providing interaction with the successful GCCs, and where we are discussing that how we can have a setup of GCC in SEZ, IFSCA, and there are another comparison also with the authorities to take the benefit in terms of professional gain as well as opportunities. Friends, on the same day evening, we are having again a very important program for which we all are striving, because I believe that connection towards the industry is very important when our 70% of the population of chartered accountant are working in industry and corporates. And that is why we have come out with CXO roundtable meet on 16th evening, in which we are inviting more than 200 CFOs, CEOs, COOs to understand the new opportunities for our profession, to take their footprint in the ICI, because I generally believe that this is generally a problem statement that our members in industry and businesses are not connected well with our alma mater. And that is why in the initiative of WRC Corporate Setu, we have targeted this time so many programs towards the industry for their effective participation. And in this series, we are doing this CXO roundtable meet on 16th evening, followed by dinner at Geo Convention Center, again a larger landscape. Friends, this year we are targeting to innovate all our programs. We are striving to change the mindset of our members, because I personally believe that we have so many areas in which our members can explore. And that is why we are targeting to have a change of mindset from the compliance to value addition, compliance to consulting. This is our target for this year. Then we are striving for best professional excellence, because we are the part of Institute of Chartered Accountant of India, and from which all our stakeholders have a different expectation. And that is why we are doing so many training programs, workshop, to empower all our members for best professional deliveries. Then we are targeting to have more and more adaptability approach amongst all our members, because whatever new thing is happening, we should be adaptable towards that. That only we can inculcate in our day-to-day working, which is required. For AI also, we are doing the same, that we are providing training to all our members so they can use hands-on experience on the AI part also to get day-to-day knowledge update, day-to-day empowerment in your working. Then friends, in collaboration again, we are targeting that CN Access is one of the initiative where we are inviting data from all the smaller firms. Those are open to take collaboration with larger firms. In CN Access, we have already received more than 100 entries, and we are targeting to have one physical program where we can facilitate the collaboration approach amongst these CA members, and where we can fulfill the dream of our country leadership also. When our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji said that they are expecting more big firms from India, in this series we have come out with a very unique initiative, that is CA Nexus, in which we are providing the collaborative approach amongst all our CAs. Again, Market on Monday, in which we are discussing about the capital market opportunity. Sustainable Sunday, again a very good opportunity to giving back to society. Recently we had session on carbon credit. As we all know that we are in the era where we have to understand 3 Ps in a different way. First we have to target the planet, then people will make sense, and then profit can be an object. And that is why we have come out with a wonderful series, Sustainable Sunday. And friends, I am very fortunate that I am representing WRC in the 75th year, where we are targeting complete transformation for our members. And that is why in Impact, last T stand for transformation. And this is really a great legacy which we want to celebrate in terms of so many things, commitments to our members and students. I will not take much of time, as we are here to understand the transition of Income Tax Act. Once again, like to request to each one of you, please be active on WRC platform, because whatever we are targeting, we want to have a maximum participation to take maximum benefit. Thank you so much. Thank you. Over to you, Ketan Bhai.
Thank you so much, the dynamic chairperson of WIRC, C.A. Saurabh Ajmera. We have a very learned person today on the dais, and let's take the advantage of their knowledge. May I invite Central Council member from Indore, C.A. Pankaj Shah sir, for his address.
Good morning. Honorable Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Shri Anurag Prasad ji, Commissioner of Income Tax TDS Riddhi Mishra ji, my fatherly figure, I would say, senior most council member Shri Durgesh Kabra ji, Chairman WIRC Saurabh Ajmera ji and his team, officials from department, members. As a Vice Chairman of Direct Tax Committee, at the outset I would like to compliment WIRC for organizing this very important program on the new Income Tax Act. Why this program is important? So I always say, कुछ इस तरह तेज हो गई है रफ्तार जिंदगी की कि सुबह का गम शाम तक पुराना हो जाता है. Changes are imminent. तो हम क्या करें? बचकर रहना इस दुनिया की परछाई से. लोग यहाँ पहाड़ भी बना देते हैं राई से. बनना है तो बहता हुआ जल बनो, क्योंकि ठहरा हुआ जल ढक जाता है अपनी इकाई से. So congratulations to you all. आप सब बहता हुआ जल बनने आए हो. You are here to unlearn and learn the new Income Tax Act. Now this new Income Tax Act 2025 is a very important piece of legislation because it replaces a senior citizen, which was Income Tax Act 1961. This new Income Tax Act is a real masterpiece because it has intended to simplify the existing law, which was there, which was evolved in more than 60 years, and the changes, they have reduced from 800 more sections to 536 sections, 5 lakh words to 2.5 lakh words. So there is a massive exercise of simplification under this new law. And this simplification, which you need to read along with the Finance Act 2026, will be very important to understand, because there are factors which have contributed to ease of doing business. We all are aware, employee contribution to PF. It was the most contentious litigated issue which was actually affecting many industrialist businesses, because if you are delayed by only 1 day, whole amount used to get added in your income. Those kind of rigorous provisions are now relaxed so that you get deduction if you pay by the due date of filing return. This new law, 80% is same, only language has changed. There is simplification. Instead of very heavy words, notwithstanding anything, they have replaced it with irrespective of. There are many changes in this law. earlier we used to read 46 different sections to understand TDS, which is now only one section 393. It is always said a picture speaks louder than words, and similarly table is very useful to understand something. So instead of reading whole set of 46 sections, now you only are required to read a table in which all the sections, provision, nature of payment, everything is given. So simplification was a key factor, and this was drawn before this income tax bill was made. Recent exercises in changing simplification of income taxes of England and Australia were also studied, and accordingly best piece of legislation has been enacted. We need to understand the provisions of repeals and savings under this new law. This is very important. I would say this time government has been very adaptive. In the income tax bill, there were some substantive changes which were actually affecting. So those fundamental changes which were against the assessee, they had been withdrawn in the Income Tax Act. So this time government was very adaptive in bringing this, and outreach programs have been started with Praram, which we attended, where the finance minister specifically asked to develop a new approach towards the taxpayers. With this, some cautions which we need to know and exercise. TDS is a very important section. Changes are there. Now it is in table, so you may have to learn how to read that table. Recently, madam, there was an issue. Commission under the 194H did not included. There was a specific exemption given under 194H to brokerage on securities. Now on a prima facie reading, you may realize that there is no exemption now. But you need to read interpretation chapter. After every chapter, there is an interpretation column where definitions and meanings are given. So the legal position remains same, only positioning has changed. And because these kind of changes are there, we are coming out under Direct Tax Committee with a publication on TDS, so that every nature of payment is a separate code by itself. You can understand everything in one shot. So there have been simplifications. There are issues. Earlier in the 1922 Act, there is no reference in 1961, so you don't need to keep 1922 Act when you are dealing with 1961. But now, under the 2025 Income Tax Act, at 117 places, there is a reference to 1961 Act. So, kindly do not dispose away your 1961 Act copy. You may require in future. So, this will be going to be a great exercise, unlearning and learning the new Income Tax Act 2025, and my compliments to WIRC for arranging such a wonderful program, and to you all for attending it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Pankaj Bhai. With this, may I request the Senior Central Council member from Mumbai, CA Durgesh Kabra sir, for his welcome address.
Good morning, all. Respected Chief Guest of the day, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Anurag ji, Riddhi ji, and Chairman of the WIRC, a very young and dynamic, who is going to create impact on the various things for the professional brothers and sisters. Saurabh Ajmera, the immediate past chairman of the WIRC, Ketan Sayya, and my colleague in the council, Pankaj Shah, who is dedicated to profession as well as more dedicated to the income tax subject, because he served a firm known Bansi S. Mehta and Company in Mumbai. So his initial learning before shifting to Indore for 8 years was in Mumbai. In fact, the topic for the day is Income Tax Act 1961 vis-à-vis Income Tax Act 2025. And I'm not expert of the tax, let me tell you very frankly. So I normally deal with the corporate law, or the audit, and that is my subject. But in general, if I try to understand this Income Tax Act, which has come and which is known as 2025, then I would say that the focus in this Income Tax Act has been more on ease of doing business. And therefore, from 819 sections, subsections were there earlier. I would say that has been reduced to 539 in this new Income Tax Act. And these 819 has become because there were lot of amendments in between, and it has become difficult for all of us to understand sometimes clause, subsection, clause, subclause, proviso, sub-proviso, lot of things were there, and now it has gone. At least even the sections are straight away. There is no 80C, 80D, 80E, 80F. It is section 80. So it is going to become a easy life for the complier, for the consultant, and for even the departments. And surely the speed of compliance will be much more and will definitely help in ease of doing business. Friends, सीधी और सरल भाषा में बात करें तो इसको सरलता से समझाने की कोशिश की गई है. पहले अगर गिफ्ट मेरे पिताजी के भाई की पत्नी से लिया तो वो एग्जेम्प्टेड था, और अब सीधा सीधा लिख दिया है कि चाची से गिफ्ट लिया है तो एग्जेम्प्टेड है. तो आपको चार चीज़ें समझने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So it has become very easy and will definitely make lot of difference. And I am sure that the new Income Tax Act which has come, this is a trust-based income tax, and this is going to help not only the tax collections process but also to the tax complier too. And I am sure today the deliberation which is going to take place by the learned speakers and the chief guest who is there with us today, I think will give us highlights about all those things, and it will be a very good learning sessions for all of us. Thank you very much for giving me a patient listening, and wish you a happy learning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. We have worthy presence of Miss Riddhi Mishra, Madam, CIT DDS1, and may I request our coordinator, CA Ravi Soni, to introduce Riddhi, Madam.
Thank you. Good morning, all. Respected sir, CCIT sir, respected CIT madam, Riddhi Mishra madam, respected WIRC chairman, respected CCM, Shri Durgesh Karbra sir, Shri Pankaj Shah, and all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais. It is my pleasure to introduce Riddhi Mishra madam. Riddhi Mishra, an officer of Indian Revenue, is an officer of Indian Revenue Service of 2004 batch, is currently working as a Commissioner of Income Tax TDS1 in Mumbai. She has a diverse academic and professional background. She did graduate in B in Computer Science Engineer 2001, Master in Kathak Dance 2004, and Master in Taxation and Business Law 2007, and is currently pursuing her PhD in Kathak Dance. After joining the civil service in 2004, she has served the Income Tax Department in a various charges, including assessment, investigation, exemption, TDS, vigilance, and her posting in Nagpur, Mumbai, and Delhi, including CBDT. Before being posted to Mumbai in 2018, she was on a deputation with Ministry of Culture as a Deputy Secretary, where she has handled museum and international cultural relationship. She had been instrumental in reviving festival of India abroad. She was a key member of the committee that drafted a new Income Tax Act and made a significant contribution in drafting TDS and TCS provision. In recognition of her exemplary work, she was awarded the Certificate of Excellence by the CBDT. She was actively involved in drafting new income tax rules and form. We welcome you, ma'am.
Before I request Riddhi madam, may I request the dignitaries on the dais to welcome her with the bouquet and the memento. Ravi, you also join. May I request Riddhi madam for her address.
Respected Anurag Prasad sir, Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, WRC Chairman, other council members, distinguished dignitaries on the dais, respected members of the CA fraternity, esteemed speakers, colleagues, and ladies and gentlemen, good morning. It is indeed a privilege to be present here today for this session on New Income Tax Act, transition from old to new. And I extend my sincere appreciation to the organizers for bringing together such an august gathering to deliberate upon a reform which is both timely and transformative. First of all, I want to thank you, Raviji, for such kind words. And I had written something very formally, but jo discussion ho raha hai, I don't think so I will rely on that. It's very, very good gathering and very interesting to see that we are discussing such thing. I was part of the drafting committee, and I would just tell you something, it has been a very democratic process, the truly for, by, of. Jab humne draft kiya tha, after that it was put up to the public. Even during the drafting, suggestions were taken. After that, it was put up to the public for discussion. Select committee was there. There were discussions with everyone. Even ICI gave wonderful suggestions, FICCI, everybody, every trade body, independent CAs, independent taxpayer. We had whole list in the Excel. We used to sit together and deliberate on different topics. So TDS, TCS was one where I was heading the committee, but there were others where we all contributed. And we realized that such suggestions had come because it was an experience for us also how to draft it. We are thankful to the government to give us this opportunity to be part of this drafting. But it was more a learning process for us when we drafted it. And thanks to all of you that this learning became a true learning because we could make so many changes. As Pankajji also told, that even after the bill, we realized that there were gaps in it. There were certain things which should not have come, and those were accepted by the department very humbly. So this whole process, this drafting, the objective was, I would say that it was, as they said, that the objective was to remove the redundancies, reduce the interpretational ambiguities, make the language simple and clear, and align the whole statutory framework with the needs of this modern dynamic economy. So the emphasis was on clarity, simplicity, and ease of compliance. While drafting the rules and forms, if you see, there has been substantial reduction in the number of rules. So Act has been in the fora for last 1 year. But rules and forms have just come. They've just come on 20th March when they were released. So even there you would see that ease of compliance was the primary objective of the department. In TDS there has been huge reduction. There's so many things which we have attempted so that the taxpayers and the CA fraternity, the professionals, they should not face problem. We are on the same page. So first I would like to acknowledge the pivotal role of the chartered accountants in our tax ecosystem. You are not just interpreters of law, you are also the trusted advisors. You are the facilitators of compliance and key partners in this whole tax framework. So effectiveness of any tax reform is on how well it is understood and implemented, and major part of that rests on you. As already said by Pankajji, that this transition presents both an opportunity and also a responsibility. Opportunity because it is new. So now you have to explain, interpret this new structure. And responsibility because success of this new regime will be dependent on how effectively you are able to communicate it to the taxpayers, explain it to the taxpayers, and how easily we get transition from old to new. This is very unique. If you remember from 22 to 61, last when we had repeals and savings, and if you see the case laws during 61 to 65, I believe, even later, maximum litigation was on repeals and saving, because there was a huge issue how we could interpret one particular provision. We had tried to do it differently this time. Both acts are running parallel. So as you can't close down 61 Act, please don't do so. It is still valid. And secondly, it is also valid in the sense that the objective was not to change the act. Objective was just to simplify. So largely interpretation is not changed. We have just simplified the language. We've put the language in a way, so we, I mean all of us, because this drafting, all of us were part of this drafting. So more formulae have come, tables have come, just simply TDS and TCS, if you remember, very interestingly, I would want to quote this, that उसमें sections होते थे. If you remember, one interest का section है, 194A. Then other sections, everything would come in that section. But then at the end of the year, department would publish a table. If I refer to कोई भी clear tax, किसी का भी आप ले लीजिए clear tax, किसी का भी, TDS, they would give a table. So what we realized is everyone wanted a table. They wanted at a glance, what is the tax rate, what is the threshold. So the department adapted to it. We realized that the table is necessary. Now, interestingly, I see that I think Saurabh ji or Pankaj ji said, now we will come with section-wise brief. So it is round and round, but anyhow, we have tried what we realized everyone wanted. So now particular attention is required on those areas where compliance framework is necessary, that there is a change in procedure. There has been certain change in procedures and interpretation of those structured provisions, where I request that all of you should play a pivotal role and a constructive role. Here, what another thing is, any reform also brings it along with it some challenges. So here, it is important that we collaborate and have a continuous engagement. Department and professionals, especially the CA fraternity, go hand in hand. So collaboration between us is very important, and seminars such as this are pivotal. They are true, invaluable in bridging this gap. So your, what I would say, your constructive feedback, practical insights, because we sit on the other side of the table. So your insights and continuous dialogue, we are open to any suggestion that you bring, so that we make it the best act that is possible, even in the implementation. There are so many, department is going ahead with Kar Setu, which is a detailed fact. We have Kar Sathi, which was recently launched. It is a department AI bot, where you make queries and you get a response to it. Then I will tell you one more thing. While drafting the act, we were asked to make facts. So we also had Samvad sessions where we explained what was the logic behind it. While drafting rules and forms, the detailed facts about each form was done, especially the forms which are implemented from 1st April, so that the department's view is clear that this is what is intended. In case there is any confusion, please refer to them. You would be greatly benefited out of it. I would not take too much of time, so as we move ahead, let this change in law be an opportunity to build a tax environment which is fair, predictable, conducive to growth. And with these words, I wish all of you a highly engaging, insightful, and productive session. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Riddhi Madam, for your valuable time and your valuable address. We have very worthy, learned Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, CA Anurag Prasad sir here. Sir, on behalf of Western India Regional Council, a sincere thanks for making it happen today and come here. With this, may I request our Treasurer of Western India Regional Council, CA Rakesh Shah, to formally introduce Shri Anurag Prasad sir.
Thank you, Ketan Bhai, and welcome you all. Happy to introduce chief guest for the day. Mr. Anurag Prasad is a distinguished officer of the Indian Revenue Services, IRS IT 1991 batch, and currently serve as the Chief Commissioner of Income Tax 1 Mumbai. With more than 3 decades of experience, extensive experience, he has led several critical engagements in direct taxation, international tax law, economic crime investigation, and corporate governance. He has also supervised high-profile tax assessment and investigation involving multinational corporation, financials market, and major corporate fraud matter. He is an alumnus of St. Stephen College and University of Delhi. He further pursued an advanced master in international tax law from University of Amsterdam. He also contributed significantly to policy formulation, trade negotiation, vigilance administration, and digital transformation initiative within the Government of India. His research work on taxation of digital economy under the aegis of IBFD Amsterdam reflect his deep academic and professional expertise in emerging global tax framework. So welcome you, Mr. Prasad. Back to you, Ketan Bhai.
May I request all the dignitaries on the dais to welcome the sir. Rakesh bhai, you also join. With this, may I request our chief guest, Anurag Prasad sir, for his valuable address.
Thank you, Ketanji. Distinguished chartered accountants and friends, it gives me immense pleasure to have been invited by WIRC of ICI to this session on the introduction of the new law. I'm very happy to note the various activities being carried out by WIRC, both statutory or pertaining to capacity building, scale-oriented programs, the various services they are rendering to government departments, and finally, in a situation like this where a major new law is being introduced, the pivotal role they will play in popularizing, interpreting, assisting in dissemination. Can someone shut that door, please? The Income Tax Act 1961, which is being repealed, it served well for more than 6 decades. But with time it was realized that the old act was layered with provisos, exceptions, cross-references, which required reading and rereading, and gave birth also to never-ending litigation. I remember when I was doing LLM in the University of Amsterdam, I attended a knowledge-sharing seminar where in the last 4 or 5 decades, the 5,000 case laws decisions were discussed from courts from all over the world, from Court of Justice of the European Union to British, European, American, Canadian decisions. And interestingly, it was the idea of discussing those case laws was it is felt that case laws help to understand, to refine our understanding of law. And in those 5,000 decisions, more than 2,000 were from Indian courts. You can imagine that out of 5,000 landmark decisions of last 5 decades, 2,000 have come from Indian courts, which, of course, serving a purpose of helping understand the law better, also indicates to the propensity for more litigation under the old law. I'm reminded of an example given by my old professor. He said that in law, the punctuation makes such a difference, and our old law had several such problems. He used to give an example that if you see a sign which says, "Go slow, comma, work in progress," if you shift one comma and you put it after go, it will read go, comma, slow work in progress. So that is the importance of punctuation. And it was not easy for assessees to understand it very easily without assistance, without professional assistance. So it was decided to introduce the new law, which is aligned with our Honorable Prime Minister's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. The law is empowering the citizens, it is making them self-reliant, as plain language has been used. In the new law, the intent is to simplify statutory language, improve structural clarity, reduce interpretational issues, align drafting style with modern legislative standards, enhance voluntary compliance, reduce excessive cross-referencing, consolidate scattered provisions, and remove redundant provisions. Additionally, the government has come out with Kar Setu, which is a compilation of exhaustive compilation of FAQs. It is available on our official website, and already Mr. Ketan has taken note of it, and you'll find it of great use. There's also introduction of Kar Sati, which is an AI-enabled chatbot, which is available 24/7 and will be of immense use. Returning to Kar Setu, it's very exhaustive. There are chapters on the intent, on comparative views on our old and new obligations of advance tax, of TDS, appeal, revision, filing of returns, and so on. I can only highlight some of the major things, that there is introduction of the concept of new year, of tax year, which corresponds to the previous year concept. All rights, benefits, obligations, or liabilities that arose under the old act will continue to exist as per section 536 of the new act. Provisions of the repealed income tax shall continue to apply to any proceeding pending on the date of commencement of new act and to any proceeding initiated on or after 1st April 26 in respect of any tax year beginning before 1st April 26. As per provisions of Section 536 of the new Act, all circulars, notifications, instructions, approvals issued under the old Act will remain valid. All schemes designed to reduce contact between taxpayer and tax officers, such as faceless assessment, faceless appeals, under the old Act are treated as made under the corresponding provisions of the new Act. or in case there is no corresponding section of the new Act, are treated to have been made under Section 532 of the Act. Regarding running of both the acts in parallel, it is also clarified that Income Tax Department's e-filing portal will facilitate compliance under both the old and new Act concurrently. Taxpayers filing return for assessment year 26-27, which is the period pertaining to the period governed by the old Act in July 26, will do so using the forms prescribed under the old Act. At the same time, advance tax payments for tax year 26-27 commencing from June 26 will be made in accordance with the new Act. All assessments, appeals and the other proceedings relating to earlier years will continue to be conducted under the old Act until their final resolution. So these are just some of the highlights, but I really recommend that all of you refer to Kar Setu. It helps before you start with the bare new Act, Income Tax Act 2025. If you go through the Kar Setu, it will be of immense help. If there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer. Sorry. Kar Setu is on our incometaxindia.gov.in. Kar Sathi is also on. Yeah. Any more questions? I'll be happy to answer.
So the question is pertaining to TDS actually.
Yes, we have a next session. CCIT sir is here.
Okay.
He will take the next.
Okay.
Okay. Anything more?
Any other general questions we can take, but specifically we have, TDS session. So any other questions if you have, you can ask sir.
All right. Thank you. I hope this was of value, and I'm really happy and honored to be a part of this. And I'm sure with the support of the CA community, the transition to the new Act will not just be smooth, but exemplary. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Before I invite the Vice Chairman of the Direct Tax Committee, CA Sanjay Nikam, on the dais, I also recognize the presence of Regional Council Member CA Vijayendra Jain. Vijayendra Bhai, thank you for coming. And now requesting CA Sanjay Nikam to give a very worthy vote of thanks to the Chief Guest, sir, and the Riddhi Madam.
Very warm good morning to all of you, and we reached to the conclusion of the first inaugural session, and we can't thank enough to the delegates who have spared their time to enlighten us about the income tax department activities, their contribution in our life, and they also appreciated the contribution of our institute also. So at the outset, let me thank and show my gesture of respect to Honorable Chief Commissioner of Income Tax, Anurag Thakur sir. Anurag ji, thank you very much for sparing your valuable time, having such a busy schedule at department. You came along a long way to the WRC to meet our people, meet our members. Also, I am thankful to Riddhi Mishra ma'am. I appreciate ma'am, you have all-round performance, not only academic, not only a government officer also, at personal level you are pursuing Kathak. So very appreciating thing and motivating thing for us. You also appreciated the things that our institute also contributed to the development of this new act. And as sir, you requested us, definitely we will be with you, department as Honorable President Abdul Kalam ji said that chartered accountants are partners in nation building, and that hand-holding is going on since 1961, and it will be carried over for the next generation also. So thank you very much. I am thankful to all the audience and delegates for their patient hearing, and wish you all the luck and happy learning in next session. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. We will be moving on to the next session on TDS by Joint Commissioner Sir is here, and I'll request our coordinator Ravi to take it forward. Ma'am, please.
I would like to invite JCIT sir, Vijendra sir on the dais please, and Rakesh sir. After this wonderful inauguration session, now is time for us to start the session. So before starting of the